Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. As you all know, legendary reggae artist Sizzla was featured on DJ Khaled's Grateful album. And when Sizzla received his platinum plaques in Jam Jam, Sizzla was not happy with those plaques because his name was written too small on the plaques. So what did he do? He turned around, he took those plaques outside and he set them on fire. Now, while those plaques burned, Sizzla said, DJ Khaled, man, you insult me. You insulted Jamaica. Wrong plaque you send me. Burn a devil, burn corruption, burn plaque you send me. Can't even see me name. Listen, obviously, I'm not Jamaican, but you get the point. Now, I will say this, while Sizzla was burning those platinum plaques, he was respectful enough to remove DJ Khaled's son's images from those plaques. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna disrespect you, but I'm gonna do it in the most respectful way possible. I appreciate that. So listen, as I'm watching those plaques burn, right, I'm all in for Sizzla. I'm like, that's right, nobody disrespects Jam Jam. But then after I thought about it, I'm like, listen, what do I care what font size my name is on the plaque, as long as the check size is right? You know what I'm saying? Because you can turn around and you can order your own plaque online. I mean, I spoke to somebody who has multiple platinum albums and I said, listen, what's up with those plaques? And he said, listen, you can order your own plaque online, or if you're a big enough star like Khaled, you know, they'll send it to you, but you can always have those changed, okay? So, for Sizzla, here's a little piece of advice. Don't worry about the font size. They can give you the 11-point New Times Roman as long as that check size is huge. Listen, give me the Comic Sans Serif. Give me the Calibri Maramount, as long as the check is very, very bold with a whole bunch of zeros behind a significant number. Now, having said that, shout out to all of my people representing in Jamaica. Listen, I may not agree with the burning of the plaques, but I tell you what I would like to burn. I'd like to burn that red table that Jada Pinkett is using for that show of hers. And let me tell you why. On the last episode of Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk, Jada sat around the table with Megan Good's ex-husband, Devon Franklin, Will Smith's ex-wife, Cherie Zampino, her daughter Willow, her mother, and a few dudes who claim they were relationship experts. During the show, this panel of quote-unquote so-called experts discussed how to find and keep a healthy relationship. Jada and her guest also offered relationship advice to a group of about 12 women who were looking to find a good man. During the discussion, Pastor Devon Franklin also spoke candidly about his divorce from Megan Good. When discussing what it feels like to be on the other side of a marriage that did not work, Devon said, quote, "It changes everything. I just bought a piece of property, first piece of property. In the contract, it said Devon Franklin, an unmarried man. I might have well broken down because I never saw this moment. When I said I do, there was never a moment when we were thinking I don't." End quote. Listen, at this point, the tiny violins are playing and everybody who's sitting around that red table are giving each other like props and they're patting each other on the back because they're having the deepest conversation that has ever been had in the history of conversations. And Jada Pinkett is giving that nod of approval. You know that nod of approval that Jada Pinkett gives. So during the episode, Will Smith's ex-wife, Cherie Zampino, decides that she's going to share the wisdom that she has learned as a woman. And she says, quote, "I'm in a healthier space, a season of intention. I've come to a place where I'm like, the man that I've been looking for all my life is me." End quote. Listen, this is why you have to be very careful about who you let speak into your spirit. Look, I'm no relationship expert, and I will never purport to be. But let me see if I can give you a little piece of advice. To all you women out there who are looking for a man, let's start here. You are not the man that you have been looking for. Listen, I understand that women can do bad all by themselves, and I know that women can be self-sufficient, but women and men are two different things, and the Most High did that on purpose. Look, I'm gonna give singles some solid advice real quick, okay? Listen to me clearly. If you're looking for relationship advice, don't go to Jada Entanglement Smith to get that advice, okay? She's sitting around a table with the polyamorous daughter, the divorced pastor, the two white guys, the mother who hasn't seen action since like before World War II, and the ex-wife who's sitting over there looking like she's a Mormon sister wife. That is not the group of people that you want to be listening to if you're out there trying to find a good partner. Now, let me say this really quick because there's a whole bunch of divorced pastors out there, okay? And I don't want you, if you're a parishioner, not to go to your divorced pastor if you need some marital advice, okay? Because one, they can help you if they are grounded in the word, and two, they can also tell you what not to do. That's valuable experience. All right, enough of that. Let's move on to the next story. I got big news for all you biddies in the BK Lounge. Prince Paul has reunited with De La Soul and new music is on the way. Cause this week, Prince Paul went on Instagram and wrote, quote, "This might have been one of the most eventful years I've had in quite some time. An unexpected highlight was an opportunity to revisit and work on De La Soul once again. I really want to thank them for believing in me once more to get the job done. I want to thank everyone who was involved in helping us make the project a reality, everybody who I called on to participate or get advice from." End quote. Hey yo, shout out to De La Soul. If you're a true hip hop head or a true connoisseur of hip hop, then you know that 3 Feet High and Rising and Stakes is High are two classic albums that you gotta have in the catalog. And while we're talking about people making a comeback, let's discuss Brittney Griner. Brittney Griner, who was stuck in the gulag in Russia, is back on U.S. soil. And while most of us celebrated her return home, some people weren't quite as happy. Listen, we all understand that there's still a Marine that is over there in Russia, and we all pray that he comes home. But what does that have to do with Brittney coming home? Can we let her live for a minute? Can she celebrate her freedom? How come when we say Black Lives Matter, you always gotta say Blue Lives Matter? How come when we do something, there's always gotta be something to contrast it? You know what I'm saying? Just let it be. Now, when Brittney got off the plane, you may or may not have noticed that her signature locks were gone. According to her attorney, Brittney had to cut off her locks because it was so cold in Russia that every time she took a shower, her locks froze. They were frozen dread popsicles. Griner's attorney, Maria Blagovolina, told ESPN's TJ Quinn, quote, "It's very cold there, and every time she washed her hair, she got cold and would get a chill," end quote. Listen, what Brittney Griner went through had to be pure torture. Now, in order to get Griner back, the U.S. freed Victor Bout, an arms dealer known as the Merchant of Death, who was serving a 25-year prison sentence handed down by a judge in 2012. In a written statement Thursday night, the Griner family thanked President Biden, his administration, and others for their efforts. They said, quote, "We sincerely thank you for all the kind words, thoughts, and prayers, including Paul and the Whalen family, who have been generous with their support for Brittney and our family during what we know is a heartbreaking time. We pray for Paul and for the swift and safe return of all wrongfully detained Americans." End quote. I think I speak for all Americans when I say we all want Marine Paul Whalen to return to the United States safely, right? But you gotta understand that what he's being detained for is very different than what Brittney Griner was being detained for. He's being detained for espionage. She was detained for a little weed residue. So it's a very big difference. So all the people who are saying, how come Biden was able to get her out, but they can't get the Marine out? Listen, that's a whole different negotiation. I think you should ask yourself, why couldn't Trump do it? Why couldn't Trump get both Whelan and Brittney Griner out of Russia, right? Listen. You gotta give Biden credit where credit is due, okay? That old man came through, okay? Putin didn't want no smoke with Biden, because even though he's old, he can send some pretty young missiles over there to knock that bare-backed Putin right off that horse. Now, while we're on the subject of Cold War conflicts, Snoop Dogg and Master P are at war with the cereal industry. It appears Snoop Dogg and Master P are being forced to rebrand their Snoop Loops cereal after claiming the breakfast foods industry is trying to block their success. In a video posted on Instagram, Snoop and Master P announced that they're looking for a new name for their cereal brand because unnamed competitors have done everything in their sugary power to ban their product from the shelves. According to the two rap entrepreneurs, their early success in the market has scared their rivals who are now trying to undercut their growth. Obviously perturbed, Snoop Dogg and Master P took to social media and said, quote, "So they don't want us to use Snoop Loops on our cereal box, even though that's my name. We've built a national brand and disrupted the cereal industry. We did it with hard work and integrity. I know they're uncomfortable and scared." End quote. Now, Snoop Dogg and Master P emphasized the fact that they launched this cereal brand in order to bring diversity to the cereal community and to give people an economic and nutritional choice. The two moguls went on to say, quote, "Our mission is to build diversity and economic empowerment. Times have changed. There's enough room for all of us to be successful. This is bigger than us. We're fighting for the next generation of entrepreneurs. We're no longer just being consumers. We're educating the culture, building our own brands, and passing down generational wealth. We did this for the people. We did this for the family. We did this to make sure that people had something to eat." End quote. Let me tell you something. I am so proud of these brothers. We're always talking about the celebrities that aren't out here doing anything, but we need to celebrate these celebrities and rappers who are on the streets doing things to help their community. Shout out to Master P and Snoop. Now, as I'm thinking about it, I'm like, is it Fruit Loops and Cheerios that are after Master P and Snoop Dogg, or is it those bastards Lucky Charms? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think it's cornflakes. Do you think? What do you think? Do you think it's cornflakes? No. It's gotta be one of the first two. Hey yo, let me know which cereal brand you think is gangster enough to go after Snoop Dogg and Master P. Let me know in the comments. Well, I do know who's gangster enough to go after Kanye, aka Ye. The school that gave him his honorary doctorate is now snatching it back. In 2015, the School of Art Institute of Chicago awarded Ye with a distinguished degree in recognition of his contribution to art and culture. However, now the school has revoked the honorary doctorate because Ye's offensive remarks about Black and Jewish people. So this is what happened. Following Ye's controversial actions, a group called Against Hate at the school launched a Change.org petition calling for the award to be rescinded. The group said that it would be harmful to allow it to stand. The petition read, in part, quote, "Regardless of his contributions prior to the receipt of this award, it is harmful to allow Ye, as he is presently known, to continue to use the School of the Art Institute of Chicago to help legitimize hatred and violence." End quote. As a result of the petition, the school rescinded Ye's prestigious degree and said, quote, "This was a difficult decision to make and one that has been deliberated thoroughly." End quote. The school also noted that this is the only time in the 80 years of the school's existence that they have ever revoked a degree. I gotta tell you, I am shaking my head. This is why you shouldn't let them give you anything. You should earn what you got, because when you earn it, they can't grab it back. I mean, this school was eating off of Kanye for years. Oh my God, Kanye went here, Kanye went here. And now they want to snatch the degree back? Oh my goodness, they can have that piece of paper as far as I'm concerned. Now, I don't even want to report this next story, but I have to because it's newsworthy. Okay, apparently R. Kelly, who remains in prison under several federal indictments, dropped a new album called I Admit It from prison, but it was quickly removed from all streaming platforms after label Sony Music indicated it may not have been authorized. The 13-track album featured at least one previously recorded song, the controversial 19-minute title track, which was uploaded to SoundCloud in 2018. According to the streaming services, the album was released through Legacy Recordings, a division of Sony Music which specializes in the new releases of current and past artists. Hours after the project's release, a spokesperson for Sony stated that I Admit It was not an authorized release, and it indicated that they were still trying to determine who released the new album and how. In the 3-part song, I Admit It, I Did It, R. Kelly addresses the many allegations against him and sings, quote, "And if you really want to know, her father dropped her off at my show and told this boy to put her on the stage. I admit that she was over age." Listen, I can't with this guy anymore. I just can't with this guy anymore. Listen, can somebody tell me why R. Kelly has a fully functional studio in prison? It's supposed to be punishment, people. Punishment. Oh, geez. Look, apparently some people heard the album while it was released and they decided to share their thoughts about the album online. One person said, quote, "He and Kanye came out with some fire music this week and I'm kind of disgusted at myself for liking it as I wince." Someone else said, "It's the equivalent of OJ if I did it." Someone else came through and was like, "This album is hard as F and I don't care." And finally, another person on Twitter said, "I loathe this album." Well, I'll tell you this much, I'm never gonna know whether I like it or I loathe it because I'm never listening to that trash. I don't care whether you stream it, I don't care whether you bootleg it, I don't care what you do with it. I'm never listening to it. Now, let me talk about somebody who I actually like. Let me talk about my man, Notorious B.I.G. Since Biggie Smalls died in 1997, the hip-hop community has found many different ways to celebrate the iconic artist. But now, New York done gone and done it. They done given Biggie Smalls his very own statue in his hometown of Brooklyn. The chiseled stainless steel monument stands 9 feet tall and incorporates solar-powered speakers which bump an array of Biggie tunes throughout the day, courtesy of a playlist curated by DJ Mr. C. The monument, which is named Sky's the Limit in the County of Kings, is located at the entrance of the famous Brooklyn Bridge connecting the borough to Manhattan and was crafted by an artist named Sherwin Banfield. Hey yo, big up to Biggie and big up to the artist who created this wonderful piece of art. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.